Hey, Billy Buckbee, sitting down here with my good friend Pete Bass. Wanted to sit down with Pete and talk to Pete about some of those things that aren't uh, typical for most people to sit down with their friends and talk about. But Pete really wanted to get the word out, let people know exactly who he is. So I figured I'd ask him a few questions and then sit down and just talk.
Thanks, Billy.
Shoot the chat, if you
Thank
will, right?
Thank
So a lot of stuff recently hitting in politics. People dig deep and they want to get dirt on people and they want to sling mud. Not your thing, right?
No, I don't believe, the issues are way too important in New Milford to be mudslinging. I made a commitment in the very beginning of this not to sling mud. The issues here are way too important for New Milford's future. And we really need to be counting on those ideas that would differentiate myself from my opponent and let the people make up their mind on ideas of how we can move New Milford forward.
All right, so the concept of slinging mud, like I felt the same way. I don't believe in it. I don't think anybody wants to hear or see that garbage, right? So, like you had said, let's do a warts and all. All right, so what we saw today. Today, filming this, and we just saw this in the paper, came out. They're talking about you and some financial debt, right? Some of the medical debt, right? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So I have had some medical issues. For those that did not know, I had a heart attack. After my heart attack, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Thyroid cancer, they took my thyroid out, and there's some residual, a little bit left over, so they're going to go in and kind of clean it up. The prognosis is outstanding, as it is with thyroid cancer. So I'm just actually blessed by the doctors that have performed the surgery for me. Will continue to do so. All my doctors that are doing the care afterwards, my cardiologist and my endocrinologist. With that being said, for most of Americans that know, is even if you have health insurance, because I do, the cost of health care is so extravagant right now,
Right.
and so expensive, it just makes it difficult.
Right.
And sometimes you have to make a choice whether you're going to feed your family that month or that day, or you're going to try and negotiate and do as best you can with settling the debts that you do owe.
Sure.
So I'm in the process of doing that, but because of the cost of the medical, it makes it difficult.
Right.
But I'm in the process of taking care of those items, working towards that resolution, and just keep moving forward.
You own it.
Exactly. Like everybody does every day. You put your feet on the ground, your shoes, your feet in your shoes, and you get on to work.
And that's the thing. You've been doing this for a long time as far as helping out in the town. And a lot of people don't realize when you're a volunteer and do a bunch of stuff, sometimes, that means you're working to do what you can with your family. You want to give back to the community. And no one's making the huge dollars that maybe were made years ago. It's a lifestyle change, and being so community involved that it can affect you financially, personally, doesn't mean you're not managing what you have very well. Exactly where I'm going, right?
And you have to take into account in my particular industry, I'm commission based. So some of my closings for my business, you may think that it's 30 days away. It could be 60 or 90 days away.
Sure.
That in no way at all, designifies the fact that you have this spiraling medical costs. Last year alone, out of pocket, I paid well over $10,000 out of my money just for the medical, and I have medical insurance.
Yeah.
So it's when you have that kind of pressure,
Sure.
it becomes difficult. You have to make life choices. I have a family, and I know a lot of people are in the same boat that I'm in, where you sit down at the table and you're like, okay, what are we going to pay this month? What are we going to pay this week?
Sure.
You need to put food on the table, and you need to take care of your family. So that's what you're going to do first and foremost. But it's, getting up every day, going to work every day, and doing what you can do. And that's kind of.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.